Our little boy is all grown up tonight. And you know what, big boy? You're grown up. You're grown up. Yeah, I did that. Is this a fucking protection for you? Because you're grown up and you're grown up and you're grown up.
Well, where, oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. We were out on a date in my daddy's car. We hadn't driven very far. There in the road, straight ahead, the car was stalled, the engine was dead. I couldn't stop, so I swerved to the right. I'll never forget the sound that night.
Where can my baby be? Where can she be? In this case, we're talking about the long-lost episode 7. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of All Grown Up Podcast. The All Grown Up Podcast, I'm sorry. The podcast where it's a bunch of 30-something dudes trying to figure out how to adult life. And we opened up this podcast with Last Kiss, the doo-wop version, the older version. Most of you might be familiar with the Pearl Jam version. They made it very, very famous.
Yep.
And the reason why we use that song is because we actually lost something. It's been a while since you guys have heard us, and the reason why is because...
Yeah, we're sorry for the delay, everybody.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, though. George will fill you in.
The reason why is that we lost probably like one of the best episodes we ever recorded. But Ray over here, he has to do with if the original song is actually about a man driving with his baby and they don't see a car coming out of nowhere and he swerves to the right and they die or she dies. In this case, we were in the car recording this podcast and then Ray was the car that we didn't see and then we swerved to the right and that podcast died. Ray, would you care to explain?
Yeah, or how about the brakes just failed and we just slammed into a tree?
Yeah, so we had the greatest episode ever.
We like to think that it was.
Yeah. And so it was when I thought I saved it, I guess I accidentally deleted it. And so now that episode is just a tribute.
Well, that wasn't even the beginning of it though either, because when we were doing the podcast, I think maybe about 30 minutes or 20 minutes before we wrapped up, Ray realized that the laptop had died. And we were like, oh, no, it didn't capture anything. And
well,
then
at first it went into sleep mode. That's what happened,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's right.
Sleep mode.
So we were sad, and then we booted it back up, and it turns out we didn't lose everything. So we just kind of took it after, and basically we were able to just say, okay, well, let's redo the outro that we were going to do. And then it was all good. And then when the laptop said, hey, Ray, are you sure that you want to quit this application without saving? Ray said, fuck yeah, I want to quit without saving.
And it was
so
all
always
downhill
save,
from
everybody.
there.
Everybody always save. But anyway.
But it's not just that. Only obviously our work schedules conflict with each other.
Well, yeah,
and just trying to make the time to do this again.
We're adulting and stuff, you know? So
yeah,
it's hard to get together.
I'm the only one who works Monday through Friday.
And by the way, we do have somebody
An
here.
unfamiliar voice rings in.
So for you listeners, this is the first time you're hearing him, but this is the second time he's with us because of my mess up. But here we have Richard Salazar.
Yeah, nobody knows who the fuck I am, but
He makes fine leather goods.
He makes fine leather goods.
Oh, dude, wait, we didn't even do an intro. So I'm George Herrera.
I'm
Sal.
We're your host.
And I'm Ray, dude.
Yeah, now we have
a special guest.
Yeah, we're so wrapped up in the fact that we're so sad about this episode and we want to tell you guys about it that we forgot to introduce ourselves. How rude.
Yeah, we were really devastated about losing that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, since then.
Let me tell you about the day after. I had a fucking call out because I woke up with a fucking horrendous fucking hangover, dude.
Now, see, that's how good of an episode it is.
Yeah,
you always know it's a good episode when somebody has to call out sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're too fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think we all woke up with wicked hangovers that night, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think we all did. Yeah.
And I had to wake up at 4 a.m. that day.
But
Holy shit.
You see, the difference between that is that we had that good buzz, that buzz where everybody's just feeling good and you don't want it to end, and you just the conversation keeps flowing, and you're not belligerent, but the next day you're like, oh, okay, that's why I was feeling.
I
so
should have
good.
drank some water before I went to bed.
Like I was feeling.
I
so
did. I
good,
tried
like,
to.
It didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
Oh, shit.
But
So
Maybe you mistook the water for alcohol.
Yeah, I guess maybe I drank some vodka or something.
Maybe
I
you
don't know.
did.
straight vodka.
so there's been a lot that we haven't talked about, like
A lot.
Yeah. So
So let's go quickly over the episode that we lost.
Yeah, we'll give you guys a breakdown about
Yeah.
what we talked about in the original episode 7, and maybe it'll clear it up for everybody.
Yeah, so it was originally intended to be a Viva breakdown because it was right after Viva, right?
yeah.
So a lot of it kind of weighed heavily with Viva. So we'll go over that really quick. And then after that, I mean, I guess the rest of that actually just kind of flowed. I don't really remember what it was, but I just know it was good.
Yeah.
So for this episode, we'll go over that. So quick Viva breakdown.
So George was at Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah, so I was at Viva.
And so was
and
Richard.
Rich.
And
George
Rich.
and Rich went to Viva.
And Rich went to Viva. It was really cool. Man, like now I feel like it's so far gone that like it doesn't
Yeah.
really feel like
Well, that's why you
relevant.
just
It's like 2
gotta
months
throw
now.
your experience.
So
Just
we're gonna
be
go
like,
do a quick Viva breakdown.
Yeah. Insert Chuck Berry riff.
Yeah.
Doom, 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 doom.
The bands were great. Everything was cool. Got to see Brenda Lee. Got to see the whatchamacallit.
Did she play "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree"?
She did. She actually ended with that, which I didn't think she was going to
Christmas in April.
in the middle of April, but she did. And hey, man, everybody loved it. So
Maybe that's the only hit everybody knows.
Yeah.
Who's Brenda Lee?
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, not that anybody's going to say that, but
Reverend Horton Heat was out there at the car show. Who else was out there? Los Straight Jackets. They were at the car show. Crack open some beers. Crack that open, dude.
Yeah, tap, tap, tap.
there's a reason why
I want to hear the crack, like, cause it just.
Here we go.
Sometimes when I hear that, like if anybody's listening at work or anything, like it just makes my mouth water sometimes. When I have like a Pavlov's dog reaction
Yeah.
to that.
Even if it's like a fucking Coke or
Yeah.
some shit.
Do you remember those old? Yeah, exactly. Do you remember those old Tecate commercials when they used to have like the like Aguila something, and I'd be like, oh my god, like you know,
No,
you got me.
Mexican beer gives me wicked hangovers. I don't drink Mexican beer.
It's just the thought of the cracking of the can. There was this one time
Yeah,
I was
dude.
at work and I had a Rockstar, and I actually cracked a Rockstar, and it was 8 a.m. And I was like, oh man. And I cracked it, and somebody's like, "Oh!" Like I didn't know who it was. It was like at a meeting, and like somebody heard me crack a Rockstar, and they're like, "Oh, let's go!" Like because they just had that same response to the cracking of the can. You know, it's just like, it's so good.
Those are bad for you.
So anyway, so Wanda Jackson was there, which was the highlight of my trip, you know, or our trip. It was pretty great, like, you know, and that's what Viva's all about, is just great music. We had a little bit of an issue with lines because there was so many damn people there. I guess because Dita Von Teese was there, which last episode we started going into the conspiracy theories of what actually happened. But since then, Tom Ingram actually released a episode on his podcast, and he said there was a lot of wristband fraud. Yeah.
Kind of fitting.
And it was weird when you were talking about that earlier, the last time we met, because when we were recording, because hearing about there being lines to get into certain places, like myself and Ray have never heard about that. Like, there's never been
We've
lines
never
to
had
get
that
anywhere.
problem.
Never.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like if you
Well, there's
went,
always been lines for like Brendan's pub and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you
know?
guys made
Yeah.
it seem like the lines were massively out
Massive,
the door.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, seeing the pictures, dude, there was like lines everywhere. Like
Yeah.
the only time we ever had to wait in line was to get tickets
Burlesque
for the
show, yeah.
burlesque show,
Yeah.
and that was it.
and those weren't even that bad.
Yeah.
Apparently, people started lining up for Dita Von Teese's burlesque show like at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m.,
Yeah.
something like that.
And when was the show going to take place?
Later on that day, like
The
at,
same day.
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
8
like-
p.m. But you have to
yeah.
get your tickets before. So it was pretty crazy. And the crazy part was, so like how Rich said, there used to be lines.
The heck was that?
There used to be lines, or there is lines for like Brendan's pub or whatnot. But like, let's say you leave Brendan's pub, you just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the restroom." Okay, cool, and then you come back. Or, "Hey, I'm gonna get a smoke outside." Okay, cool, come back. You know. Apparently, like the crowd control was so crazy that if you left, they're like, "If you leave right now, you're not gonna get back in." So
Yeah.
people had to sacrifice like watching their favorite band if they left to have to pee or
Yeah.
get a drink or get cash from the ATM or whatnot. So it was
Yeah,
pretty
anything,
bad. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I didn't even go to the Umbrella show because it was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna fucking wait in line. You know, because I never had to wait in line before. So I mean, you had to just to get tickets, but I don't know. You know, there's a lot of other stuff going on. So
I mean, you guys have been to Viva now more recently than Ray and I have, but I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's the same thing every year, but do you
Pretty
guys
much.
still feel like, I mean, it's different every year, even though it's the same thing you're doing?
you know, the like 2 years ago was fucking dead, like really dead. And the year after they got Brian Setzer, and I think that kind of revived it a little bit.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
did.
like in a
Hell
sense,
yeah, it did.
you know, because this year's
We were
like
at that show.
insanely packed. You know, yeah. But the year before that, I think it was Viva 7. Was it 18? Yeah, 18. Viva 18 was super dead.
Yeah, 19 with Setzer.
Yeah, and it just didn't have the same vibe, you know. Like there was, you know, it's kind of funny because I saw a lot of people that I always see like every year, like you know, all the usuals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start to recognize their faces, right?
Yeah. You know, because you see the like the hardcore people that have gone the past like 15 years or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, it was but it seems like that it's a lot more popular, you know, like well, I mean this year was freaking crazy packed, you know, like thousands of people, you know. Well, it's always thousands of people, but like way more than it
You think that was
usually is.
because it was the 20th and it was supposed to be like
Yeah.
the bigger?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
right.
Or it's just, you know, people are starting to figure it out that it's a great time, man.
It's a place to be.
Like how you said, it's familiar because it's at the same venue every year, and it's familiar because you're always getting drunk. But what's not familiar is that you're always discovering new music. You know, like
Right.
that's a good thing that Tom Ingram does, is that he's always like, he doesn't schedule back-to-back bands unless these bands are like legit, you know, like
Yeah.
legit. But he does his due diligence to make sure that he gets bands from all over the world, and they're always different, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe some bands here and there will repeat themselves, but I mean,
Well, that's because people like them, and you know
Yeah.
that's probably like one of the big places for them to play. You know, because you know,
Yeah.
being a rockabilly band, where else are they gonna play other than rockabilly venues? You know.
Yeah, like Rudy's fucking bar and grill out in fucking Reseda.
yeah. Well, actually, you know what's going on this weekend is the in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, and then what is it?
The Nashville Boogie?
Yeah,
Nashville
Nashville
Boogie.
Boogie.
Right.
Which I heard is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like
Sounds
the Southern Viva, right?
Yeah, and then there's an East Coast Viva, and then there's a UK Viva, which is called Rockabilly Riot, I think.
Yeah,
no, not
Rockabilly
Rockabilly Riot. No,
Because I thought that wasn't a UK. at
Rock
first.
Out?
Rockabilly Rave?
Rockabilly Rave.
Yeah,
Rockabilly Riot is Setzer's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
because
right.
doesn't Tom Ingram throw a side like Viva, but it's only bands, no car show. It's like
No, that was only 1 year in Vegas, and then it only happened 1 year, and that was it.
Yeah,
'Cause,
probably
like,
didn't do
he
too
tried
good.
it in October.
yeah, he didn't. It wasn't him like the sole promoter. Like he was co-promoting it with some other guy, and the other guy, from what I heard, I was talking to, I forgot who was talking to, the Viva 18, and they said that the promoter like shysted all the bands and stuff like that. Like people got there and freaking the venue said, yeah, you know, we don't, you're not getting paid, you know.
What?
So like bands were like basically paying for free that year. The first year that happened, and the last year it happened or some of that. It might have happened 2 years, but
Yeah,
I think
it
it was only 1 year though. But
Yeah, well, that'll be a reason why it only happened once, because nobody is gonna want to play, especially if they're flying from the UK.
They had it at the Gold Coast. They tried
Yeah,
to
the
kind
Gold
of
Coast,
like
yeah.
Right.
channel in that same feel of like the old school Vivas when it was
Yeah.
at the Gold Coast, and just bands, like no car show.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what happened, and they didn't do it again anymore, you know. So
yeah.
Wow. So for anybody who didn't hear or didn't listen to Tom Ingram's podcast, what else did he mention about Viva next year?
they came up. He was very, what was cool is that he was very upfront about like what actually happened. He's like, yo, there was a lot of wristband fraud, and what's crazy is
I don't think it's necessarily like wristband fraud. You know, I think in a sense, people like his. Well, sorry, I didn't.
Well, no, go for it.
Yeah,
Like, what do you
okay,
think? What do you think wristband fraud entails? Because I was kind of thinking that too. Like,
Yeah,
what does that mean?
I think that's BS because
You
you
think
know
he's bribing people,
well,
or bribing people,
well,
or making fake wristbands?
Well,
or,
No,
I
not
listen-
fake wristbands.
yeah.
Wristband fraud to me or counterfeiting means that somebody is making your wristbands on the side, like forfeiting them or was it forging them or whatever, you know? And they're what do you call it? They're cloth. They're weaved
Yeah.
cloth, you know.
Well, there was
It'd be
one-
very hard for somebody to fucking like get a computer to fucking do
Yeah.
a
To
weaved
sew
cloth thing,
that,
you know?
yeah.
But there
Yeah.
was one
Yeah,
year.
that's BS.
There was one year. I think I remember you telling me that you said you and Trung, our friend Trung. So Rich and Trung went over to meet us, and they kind of just made a quick trip to Viva, and they had to try to scrap for wristbands, you know. So Rich got one, and then Trung didn't have one.
Yeah.
So in the process, or in in like the panic of having to try to figure out like where to get another wristband for Brian Setzer that year, Rich actually figured out, dude, you can take this wristband that they have and make.
You're not giving away secrets here before you say what
No,
you're
no,
gonna
no,
say,
no,
right?
well, no, but
Or
it's
any type of
Actually,
No,
no, that's
no,
not
no.
what happened at all. I mean,
but you, no,
I know
hold
what
on,
you're trying to imply. Go
but
ahead.
any type
what I'm
of
saying,
illegal.
Okay,
no,
okay.
no, no. What I'm saying is
Yeah.
that you could actually make 2 wristbands out of 1 wristband,
yeah, yeah.
and it's possible to do it, like with the amount of fabric that they have, which is the reason why, in my personal opinion, that Tom Ingram's probably going to go to QR codes, which you guys alluded to because
Yeah.
you guys said that that's how Comic-Con does it. It's
Yeah.
a QR code, so you got to scan.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so that makes sense. But
Well, that's not specifically what he said.
But
though,
Rich, out of like, he didn't do it. You know, he just said, "Hey, like, you know, what are we gonna do?" Like, you know,
Well-
he ended up coming with actually a better idea, which was wait at the checkout of the hotel and say, "Hey, like, are you guys wanting to sell your wristbands? Because you guys
Yeah,
are leaving."
that's
But
not.
Some people want to leave like on Friday and they have high rollers. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
it's
but
person
see
for
if-
person. You know, there's
yeah.
like a body. It's like a body swapping a body. You know.
Yeah, so
You
so
know.
it's not really counterfeiting because it's
Exactly.
like there's still going to be the right amount of
People.
there.
If you think about it, the person that bought the wristband initially is essentially like, you know, they're losing out on money or whatever because they're selling the wristband for like $50 or whatever. You
yeah.
know. So you know, their wristband system's, you know, stupid. You know, like, you know.
It's antiquated.
Yeah, you know, anybody could slip it off the wrist, or anybody could just hand it, like, you know, employees handing over, you know, extra wristbands to people, or like, you know, it's very easy for that stuff to kind of happen, you know.
Yeah. So he's coming up with some kind of, like, that was one of his announcements. He's like, we have a new wristband system. I'm not going to tell you what it is because
Yeah, it's gonna
you're
be
just going to find out. It's
yeah.
going to be a QR code.
He's trying
Yeah,
to
of course.
avoid,
or
trying
maybe
to
an
avoid counterfeit.
RFID chip, you know, or something like
Yeah,
that.
like I was
you know?
telling
Or
you.
RFID, yeah.
Yeah, but
Because they have the money to do
Yeah,
it.
because see,
why not?
I thought they were just smoking the bouncers, you know, or the security, just like,
Yeah,
hey man,
that's
I'm
here's-
sure that
here's,
happened too.
$50,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I'm
let
sure
me-
that
let me
happened
in.
too. Think
Yeah.
about it, dude. I mean, you know, to Rich's, I mean, I'm going to bring Rich into this conversation. I meant, sorry, damn, I'm kind of buzzed.
Already?
Yeah,
You know what?
because-
We're recording in the garage, obviously,
Yeah,
in George's
it's
garage,
kinda-
and it's pretty hot today.
It's pretty hot.
George getting heat
I
stroke.
had a long day.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was
maybe
going
the
to
heat's
ask
just
Rich
getting
to
to
like
us.
back me up on this. Is that when we watched Wanda Jackson, right? It was so packed that if you had somebody that said, "Hey, I'm going to give you $20 as a bouncer," or you know, to tell the bouncer that, you could just lose yourself in a sea of people, and like nobody's going to bother you for the wristbands once you get inside. It's not like people are going around looking for wristbands or whatnot. So I mean, maybe there was that too. I
Oh
think
yeah,
there was
yeah,
that.
that's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You know, if you could possibly get it off,
Well,
right?
when we got our wristbands at the you know, pickup booth or whatever, you know, they seem really disorganized. Like the lady scanned my wife's you know, printout or whatever, right? Because it's a printout and it's a barcode or whatever. She scanned hers and then she scanned mine, but her thing like malfunctioned at that point, and then she's like, "Oh, your things are already been used," you know, because her button, like, you know, I don't know, her gun screwed up or whatever, you know.
Yeah, scan
So
gun.
yeah, her scan gun screwed up or whatever. So freaking
Sorry about that.
oh yeah. So freaking she said, "Oh yeah, your ticket's already used," and I was like, "No, like your
just
gun
got here.
malfunctioned. You just scanned
Scanned
it.
my shit.
You just scanned it right now." Like and she's like, "Oh okay, well," and then she looked at the girl next to her. She's like, "Oh okay, well, here you go," you know. And I was like, "All right, so everything's cool." She's like, "Yeah," but she seemed very unsure of herself. Like she's just like, "Yeah, whatever," you know. Like and she was drunk too. I could tell she was drunk. You know, it's like that's kind of people that you want, and like, you know,
Vegas.
giving out like basically like, you know, the thing that makes you money. It's all about the tickets, you know. That's how they make their money, and you know, fucking
Pay the
whatever
bands and everything, right?
merchandise and fucking yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It seemed really dysfunctional to me, but whatever, you know. It's all good. You know, it was a fun time either way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
You
you
guys
know.
are ready for me to interject or what? Like,
No, but
Well,
what do
yeah,
you mean?
because
No,
you
sorry,
guys
it was-
you guys were at Viva, so
oh
know.
yeah.
And by the way, it's like 2 months since Viva, so like, you know,
Yeah, so-
it seems like very, very old.
Is there
But
anything
yeah,
else
yeah,
that
yeah.
Tom
I
added
mean-
during the podcast?
Was what?
Is there anything else that Tom mentioned or added
Oh yeah,
during the
yeah. So
podcast?
we'll just go really quickly.
Just really
through
quick,
this,
yeah.
because we're starting to get like kind of long on Viva, even though it's super old. So the other two things is he said no more tickets for the Burlesque show. So waiting in line for tickets is the thing of the past. He
so
said
it's going to be like first come first serve kind of thing.
it's
Well,
not
I
going to
hope
be.
not.
It's not going to be a first come first serve thing.
Because
So
you'll still have people
'cause then
lining
you're
up.
gonna
he said
lines,
he
yeah.
said that he wants to eliminate lines. So what he did, right? is I guess he had to sit down with the Orleans casino, and he came up with a way to split the Orleans. If you guys aren't familiar with the Orleans, they have actually amateur hockey games there. So they have a fucking straight full-blown arena there.
Yes.
Where people actually perform like big rock bands and stuff like that. So
They should have hockey at Viva.
Yeah,
So-
actually, they had Sticks play there once when I was there.
yeah, it's like it's huge. It's a big ass arena, man. It's in the back. I mean, we never gone there because we don't have reason to go there, but it's there. So he sat down with him, and I imagine in my mind, this is the way it went. I imagine him being all British. He went in there and he's like,
Oh, what else would he be?
I need
He's
the
like,
fucking arena.
Look at mate. Look at mate.
Look at mate. I need the fucking arena. Like,
Sound like a
you got all these fucking people.
That's a bunch of bollocks, man. It's bunch,
These are
bunch of
horrible. These are
bollocks.
horrible English
You
accents.
guys are kind of sound like Conor McGregor now.
These are horrible English accents. But he's probably. I'm guessing that he was just like, dude, all my people had a fucking horrible time. There's a lot of revenue that comes to Orleans when Viva's around.
Oh, hell
that
yeah,
place
dude.
fucking cracks. Aside from that,
24/7.
if
Yeah.
you go
we
out
don't,
there
we only
right
go.
now,
We don't ever leave.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you go out there right now on Friday night, in
It's
the middle
fucking
of
dead.
what is it?
If we were
In the middle
to
of May.
teleport there right now,
Yeah.
dude, the Orleans would be fucking
It'd
dead.
be like that fucking. It'd be like that singing Swingers.
Yeah,
when he's
you-
like, "This place is fucking dead."
Yeah, you'd
And,
have a
like,
bunch
there's
of,
like
like,
an old
80-year-old
man
people, like,
watching
playing slots.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I guarantee you that Viva brings a lot of money. You know, so he's like, "Hey, this thing's starting to grow pretty crazy. We need to have the arena. Like, don't schedule anything. They usually don't have anything going on.
Yeah,
Anyway.
actually, they don't. I can't really speak for.
So I guess what they came up with is that they're going to split the arena in half and make a half arena setup. So like they don't even have to have tickets. They can take the full capacity of what is expected to be at Viva on high roller passes and have everybody in there.
Damn,
cool.
dude.
Yeah.
That's like a dream for a burlesque performer, dude.
And-
They would be playing a stadium almost.
Exactly, and that's not even just a burlesque show. That's all the huge acts too.
So it's not going to be outside anymore.
Exactly. Well, no,
Well,
they're
it
still
could
gonna
be.
have the car
but
show.
That's just going to be like another thing going on.
Yeah, so-
from what I understand.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
so
okay,
they're
okay,
still gonna have like the main car show headliners, but they're also gonna have like the big time names. Like for in this instance, it was Wanda Jackson, for example.
Yeah.
like was a big draw to the main ballroom. They're gonna put the big acts in the half arena, so it's gonna be kind of cool because everybody will be able to go out there and like you don't need tickets, you don't have to worry about lines. And then the other thing he did is that I guess they reinvented the way that the pool is going to be laid out, and somehow he said that there's not going to be no lines for the pool party now. I don't know how the hell he's going to do
that
that.
sounds kind of hard because, like,
Yeah,
dude,
because the
you
pool
only-
party is enclosing
yeah.
the gate. You know,
Only
Have you
so
guys
many
been to the
people
pool
would-
party all the years that we haven't been? Have you guys still kept going to the pool party?
Nah, I
Every
didn't go.
year?
I didn't go last year.
I have.
Or this year. I
That's
didn't go
like
last
one of the main things I need to go to is a tiki pool party.
To sober up?
Yeah.
No, just to like because to me that's like a party in its own because like they have like surf bands playing on their little stage and like to me like dude when you're listening to surf, fucking in a pool.
It's definitely another different part of Viva when you're at the pool party because there's not very many. Well, actually, no, there is no surf rock like and if you know surf rock, I mean Dick Dale, like surf rock,
Well, if you heard of the Volcanics, they're from
Well,
Alhambra.
well, exactly. Yeah. Well, them too. But what I'm saying is that, like like for people that know, like
Well, yeah.
Surf acts,
that
you mean?
that
yeah,
sound,
there's not a lot of bands that
Like,
play like that anymore.
those bands at Viva don't play inside of like the venues
Right.
at midnight at the bar.
Yeah, you're
you
right.
know?
It's
They
strictly for the
play
pool party.
at the pool parties, and like that's why it's so awesome out there is because you get a whole different vibe at Viva.
Yeah,
when you're out
yeah.
there.
I could agree with that.
So anyway, so he said no more lines for the pool party, no more lines for a burlesque show, no more lines for anything. He said we're gonna eliminate lines completely, and they're gonna come up with a new way to what
No, go ahead.
to eliminate wristband fraud. So and that was it. For the most part, I had a good time. Other than that, good time.
Yeah, we're pretty sure.
Rich?
You did.
Rich, you have a good time?
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was a really good time.
Yeah,
you
it was
know?
cool.
It's a lot better without you fuckers. No, it was cool. Yeah, I really had a good time this year, and fucking, I think next year is going to be even better,
Oh, that's right. So
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the last
Yeah, I
thing we
can't
had
wait.
on the podcast, the one that got deleted, was that we made a pact.
There is no pact. The episode was deleted. There is no
No,
pact.
now there is a pact
There is no
again that we're all
pact.
going to go to 21.
Yes.
Because 21 is actually a
you-
good luck number too, so we have to go to 21.
I didn't think about that, but still, there is no pact.
Nah, dude, we're fucking going. I just gotta make sure the wife's not gonna go. But yeah, since last recording, one of the Viva artists, Chuck Berry, died. I know it was a long time ago, but it was a long time ago since we last recorded.
I'm still like arguing with you about that. I'm pretty sure we recorded after that, but you're saying we didn't. So
Yeah, I thought we mentioned it in the Viva in the last episode that Chuck Berry died, Charlie Murphy died.
Charlie
Rest in
Murphy died.
peace.
And then just
Fucking-
while we're recording this on a Friday and,
And-
yesterday, Chris Cornell, sound
Chris
guy,
Cornell died, dude.
Man.
That was rough, dude.
That was really rough for me.
Dude,
Yeah, because
like-
Sal was
like,
like
yeah, if
he was
anybody
always
knows-
been the '90s.
I've always been
master.
a '90s guy. '90s, I like one of my big areas of music that I enjoyed was grunge, and that's just because my sister would listen to that, and I listened to the same things she did. So just listening to Nirvana and all those bands, that's what I liked. So when I heard Chris Cornell died, I was like, no way.
Well, dude, I mean, you have to think that anybody that listens to this podcast that's like our age group, that Chris Cornell, I mean, do you hear about like that grunge stuff,
Yeah, because
Like-
I mean, like for me, honestly, like yeah, I listened to all the radio hits, but like Sal was like a grunge fan, So to like I know, like to me, I was like, oh shit, Chris Cornell died. Damn, that sucks. But like to some people, it's just like back when we were like way young and like Kurt Cobain died, like everyone
Well,
was
yeah.
like fucking sad
Well,
for that.
fuck, how old were we, dude? We were like fucking 10. when
Well,
that
no,
happened.
that's what I mean. Like, but people that listened to Nirvana back then, like, they were like, "Oh fuck, Kurt Cobain died."
Well,
like,
exactly. They
so
were
like,
ruined, yeah.
Yeah, so people that like were hardcore, like
Some people
you know.
actually say that that Kurt Cobain dying actually vaulted that genre of music into what it is now, which is kind of fucked up, but it's kind of true. Like him dying actually made people more aware of that genre of music, and Rich is cracking up over here.
Yeah, Rich is like, well,
well,
what
back
would you
then,
say?
Rich was a hardcore
Yeah.
death
Well,
metalhead.
Rich is a
No, I wasn't.
connoisseur of music. Though,
Yeah, that's what I
though.
was about to say. He's a connoisseur
He's a,
of music,
he's a
so he
metalhead, but he loves everything. So
No, like what Kurt Cobain died in like what 94?
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
94. I mean, the start of grunge era was like 90 or whatever, right?
yeah,
really late '80s.
Yeah.
Late
So I
80s,
think
early 90s.
I think grunge had its heyday from like 90 to like probably like I would say 96.
Yeah, because then it started to die out. Because then
Yeah.
that's when the 90s.
No, I
punk-
wasn't trying to like discredit from what you said, Hey, but Chris Cornell is like the last of the great grunge vocalists that
he had a great
died.
voice.
Like
it's one of
there's
those things that you can't
Yeah.
duplicate.
no, yeah, Chris Cornell was badass.
I mean,
vocalist,
the only one that I can think of that's still around is Eddie Vedder. That's
Yeah,
why-
Eddie
Yeah,
Vedder. Yeah,
Eddie Vedder.
actually, somebody corrected me on that earlier. I was like, yeah, Eddie Vedder's still alive.
So we have
and
to
he's
go,
probably the greatest
we
guy.
have to go
so.
watch. Pearl Jam.
Everybody, keep an eye on Eddie Vedder, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
please.
Hey, but I have to say that I think Eddie Vedder is fucking like probably fucking like I hold him in much more high regards than Kurt Cobain. Because I think he's just like a really great vocalist. He's a really great songwriter.
Yeah.
So was Kurt Cobain, but
But yeah,
there's
well,
more.
because we still have Eddie Vedder, so
Yeah.
like we've heard all his stuff, like you like a lot of people say Kurt died prematurely, so he could have been like we could only guess what kind of magic he could have made,
That's true. Yeah. He probably would have developed.
'Cause, man, he was young. What was he? 52.
Who? Chris Cornell?
Yeah.
52. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's young.
But yeah, from
And
what
suicide, too,
no,
man.
Well, that's what they
don't say
that's what they
suicide yet.
speculate.
Oh, that's what
Because
they're speculating?
yeah, well, no, that's what they speculate,
yeah.
but a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but his family and like people are saying they're kind of like trying to take that off because like he was on antidepressants.
Yeah.
And
Anti-anxiety.
and anti-anxiety. He was, what was he was like taking Ativan or something like that.
Yeah, Ativan or something.
And one of the side effects like makes you like
Suicidal?
drowsy.
No, it gives you like momentary lapse of like consciousness or something like that.
Yeah, so he might have taken one and then forgot that he took it, and then he took another one, and then that would take you over the top. You know, so
and if you're depressed and stuff like that, it might have like took him to the point where he wanted to fucking hang himself or whatever.
so he didn't probably know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's
like,
just fucking
I
scary, dude.
read
Exactly.
other articles, whatever reports that say other things that happened, or like not other things, but like the way they found him.
Erotic
and-
asphyxiation.
No,
Like freaking kung fu.
no.
That dude
But
from Kung
anyway,
Fu?
yeah, there was another way that they. I guess there was another, article saying that the way they found him with like a band around his neck. That's
A what?
Yeah, with a band around his neck. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, it sucks. I mean,
Yeah. Either way, we lost a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know.
it is
like
what it is.
almost as tough as when Scott Weiland died. I mean, like I said, like I'm a really big grunge fan, so when he died too, I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
My,
yeah.
my favorite record of Chris Weiland's was hands down the Christmas record he made. You guys have to check that out.
But yeah, you know, I could see why it affects people because like, I mean, I don't know, I'm like a real big.
we're all big music fans here,
Well,
so that's
yeah,
why,
so you know, at least to me, like, or I'm sure all of us, like, music is what you know helps you through life, you know,
Exactly.
like and so like
everybody
for-
has that one song,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so for someone like that dying, for someone who you know that was like a big person in their life to like get them through stuff, like, oh man, their music got me through high school, or
Yeah.
their music got me through a divorce, or their music got me through you know my mom dying or my dad dying, or you know like you know, I could see, you know, that being a pretty big impact, you know, for him passing, you know.
Yeah, man, music makes the world go round. I was talking to my wife about how it's crazy that like you can go to any other country and this is the reason why we're talking about it. Ironically enough, I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he had Shirley Manson on. You know who Shirley Manson is?
From Garbage.
Yeah,
Garbage?
yeah.
You know she's full blown Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I
Had
did
you
not
ever
know
not
that.
heard her talk before?
I've never heard her talk before.
Oh, wow.
Ever. And I was like, what the hell? So I started saying like, it's crazy that like that it doesn't matter where you're from. Like if you hear the music that way in your head, if she's influenced by grunge, because they were talking about Chris Cornell actually.
Yeah.
And she said, you know, the grunger and this and that. But my point was that if you hear the music in your head that way, then you're going to sing it that way, you know? And you hear these records that people record. For example, Face to Face does shows all over the world. And you'll hear like Metallica record I think they did a recording in Mexico. And he has people singing. You can't tell that there's a Mexican dialect because everybody's singing it like the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because music is the one thing that transcends everything. Like
Music is universal, dude.
exactly. So when people learn these songs, they learn them the way that they're the people that they idolize.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where they're from, you know. You sing that song the way that that person is showing you their art.
Yeah. Well,
So,
like
like,
if they say like say Zeppelin or like the Stones or like all the big bands back in the 40s and 50s, like they were heavily influenced by like blues artists and
Yeah.
like Americana or, you know, American music and stuff like that. So that's why they don't have any accents when they actually do sing, you know. But if you take Bastille, you know, the greatest rock band of the century. No, but you know, like that's why they emulate the people that they idolize and stuff like that, or they emulate the people that they you know like and stuff like that, you know, all the artists that they liked and stuff like that. So
No, it's crazy, dude. So a story that actually I just remember right now that wasn't in the Viva breakdown that we had before, talking about like the love for music. So we were getting on the shuttle, my wife and I, Heather and I were getting on the shuttle to go back to the Gold Coast because we stayed at the Gold Coast. Or you didn't stay at the Orleans, right? And there was this really shifty guy, man. He's really shifty.
yeah,
Like, really weird.
shiftier than you.
Yeah, he was really weird. He just kept talking to me and he's like, "Are you a warrior?" And I was like, "What?" Yeah. He just came up to me. He's like, "Are you a warrior?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Like I just
Yeah.
I was
You
drunk."
agreed with them?
He's like, "No, man. Like, you know, you have that Apache blood in you. I can see it." And I was like, "Cause I'm Mexican and I'm brown." And I'm like, "Okay, like, you know, like."
No, you're not brown, dude. You're red.
And he's like,
It's better when you just fucking drink.
You got Native American blood and you're red.
"Well, that's what that guy was saying." So he keeps going on about like, you know, we had to do this and that, whatever, like about like warriors and whatever. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? He just seemed very like off, like very like.
Yeah, well, fucking nobody just comes up to you and asks you if they're a
Well,
fucking
yeah.
warrior.
Well, here's the thing. I got like that weird spidey sense, like where it's like, what is this guy like? Is he gonna do something weird? Like, why is he like saying like we're warriors? Like, you know, like what do we have to prove? What's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
So I started talking to him, and I was like, well, yeah, man, like, you know, I mean, I'm Mexican, but you know, we're just hanging out here and like having a good time and the music. And I started talking about music. I was like, check it out, man. Like, look at all these people out here. They're all dressed up. They all look good. They're all having a good time. And he's like, yeah, man, they are. I was like, yeah, man. Like, you know, like, I was like, dude, it's music, man. Like, music brings everybody together. Like, when we're out here and nobody knows where they're from. If like you think I'm red, you know, warrior blood, or you think that you're this, or anybody thinks that they're anything, nobody knows who each other are. We're just all on the dance floor. We're just all like, yeah, enjoying the music, you know? And he's like, yeah, man, like, you know, like, and he started kind of like mellowing down because he seemed very hostile at first. And
And you're fucking born him to that, dude.
no. And here's the tricky part. He's like, so where are you going? And I was like, well, we're going to go back to the hotel, man. Like, you know, we're going to chill. He's like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, man, like, you know, like, I was
Come
like, yeah,
find
man.
me.
I was like, everybody's having a good time. Like, you know, we all love each other here. And he's like, yeah, everybody does, right? And yeah. And then instead of getting on the bus, this fool just took off.
Wait, you think he was gonna set it off or something?
He just fucking took
He was
off.
gonna set it off, dude.
Oh, no.
All of a sudden, this fool just took off. And I was like, even Heather looked at me weird. She's like, because he was being really weird. Even Heather was like,
Like he flew away?
like he flew away. He just said like
Rich.
he's like, yeah, everybody, like, yeah. And then like I was like, all right, man, like, all right. And he just left. The shuttle pulled up, and he was like, all right, man. And he just left. He just ended up just walking away really fast. And I was like, what the fuck was that about? He was waiting for the shuttle
Yeah.
and talking to me about all this crazy shit about being warriors and all this bullshit. And then I got that weird vibe, and I was like, hey, dude, like, you know, everybody loves each other here. We're all cool. Like, you know, like, there's no this and that. Like, there's no boundaries here.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking took off.
Hey,
Wow, man.
And I was like, aren't you waiting for the shuttle? He's like, no. And he just took off.
dude, I'm
And then
glad.
I was like, hey, man, like,
Well,
I told Heather, I was like, I think I just kind of prevented something here because this
Saw
guy was
those-
acting really weird, you know?
All
I'm like,
those white
man.
peoples.
dude, you never know, man. Like, the thing is that you never know, you know? Like, I was really weirded
Yeah.
out.
well,
Dude, I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have looked at it and would have been like, oh, fucking started rain dancing right there.
That's the thing, though, is that he wasn't like Indian, dude. He was like something else. I don't know what he was.
Yeah.
He was just being very like, there's lines. I was like, there's no lines,
are
man.
you, sure,
There's,
are you
like-
sure you didn't see war paint on his face?
He was carrying a hatchet.
Did he say it was Tatanka?
Yeah. So you took my land. That's fucked up.
Wait,
That's really
was he?
fucked up.
Wait, he wasn't going to Viva, right?
No, he was at Viva.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was at Viva, and
So was he dressed like Sharp and all that stuff?
he
or-
was dressed like
Like a greaser?
he was dressed like a rockabilly cholo kind of guy.
but with war paint.
And no, war paint or war paint. No. But he was just acting very, very like just really weird. Like I said, like that's the best way I can describe it. Is like my spidey sense went off. I was like, there's something off about this guy. Like, why is he being so, you know, like, hey man, aren't you with me that you're not like these other people? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm not like that. Like, you know, okay, yeah, like I'm Mexican and I'm brown, because there was a lot of white people online. I was like, but I'm not with you.
He was trying to start the revolution, dude.
I guess maybe
It was
like,
all about the Rasa,
he had
dude.
a straight Mexican musket. Fucking, I don't know, but
Well,
he definitely wasn't like Indian or anything like that. But it was weird. It was weird.
You know what's funny is that you act the exact same way when you're fucking thrashed.
yeah.
you want to start revolution?
You tell us the same thing, Matt. Are you warriors? You tell us the same thing, dude.
That's what I told you on your birthday.
Yeah.
And you didn't wake up.
Nope.
So this is the birthday boy episode, I guess, too.
Yeah, I
'cause
guess.
Oh, yeah,
Chava's
dude.
birthday was last week.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so fun, man.
So
I don't remember anything.
Me either. I guess that's what makes it fun, right?
I guess this is a good topic, is like actually like when you actually get a chance to hang out with all the dudes, you know?
Yeah.
When you put the pedal to the metal and you don't intend to put the pedal to the metal.
We for real did not intend
Yeah,
to put
he-
the
How
pedal to
often
the
does
metal.
that happen? You know?
Yeah.
I swear we did not intend to put the pedal to the
But
metal.
you know what's funny is because, like,
It just
like
happens.
I don't know what it is like, because when it comes to liquor, I can or at least I think I could just like drink my drinks, like of course not slam them, but like
Drink your drink.
drink my drinks,
Yep.
Dude, when it comes to fucking craft beer, dude, fucking puts me over the top. Because I was
Oh, it is
oh well,
delicious.
George, you tell the story
But
because
to make a point, I did say at the very beginning of the night, dudes, I'm hungry. I want to eat first.
Yeah, that's true.
And we didn't do that. That's why we went over the top.
Yeah, that's usually how it starts.
well, yeah, I guess, but I'm just like, dang, like, because it like at least with beer for me, I guess I went from like fucking, 0 to 100 after like the fifth beer.
It happened pretty fast, man. Like I didn't even realize it either. So
But I mean, being that George is the one who stayed awake and was the most sober, you can tell the story, dude.
Oh man. Well, okay. So it was Chava's birthday, and we decided to go and do a little bit of a mini beer run. So the craft beer industry in Los Angeles is actually taking off, and there's a lot of breweries. If you haven't been to the Arts District, there's a lot of breweries in the Arts District. Los Angeles is starting to look pretty great, and the cool part is that you can take the train down there.
Yeah.
So we hit up Stone Brewing, which is not a Los Angeles.
Well, in
brewery,
Pasadena,
but they
I
have
mean,
a tasting room. They're from
Yeah.
San Diego, but good, great.
Oh
beer.
yeah, but
Probably my favorite place to go, in my opinion, is you can get a good tasting.
yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you.
Yeah, it's a good place. And then we went down to Boomtown, and then we started feeling good. And then
I really like Boomtown, by
Yeah.
the way, like because these two breweries I've never been to.
yeah, and then it all went downhill when we walked to Arts District, and then we got a beer, and then I don't know if
I'm telling you, we were roofied, man.
yeah, but I was the only guy that held these beers.
There's no way.
I
And-
remember we got to Arts District, and I remember we ordered a Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
No, it's a Puerto Rico.
yeah.
I like that.
Oh, Puerto
And
Rico.
then it kept
'Cause
saying,
these-
oh.
Oh, clip
Yeah,
that shit,
clip
dude.
that shit, jeez.
But
'Cause
yeah,
everybody
dude.
everybody kept yelling Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Yeah, it's clipping like a mother. But anyway, sorry for your ears. But Ray kept yelling Puerto Rico. And
Dude, that was like a really good beer.
It was a good porter. It was hovering
really
around
good.
the 9.5%. But we only did one round, and then we talked deep about life.
Yes.
And then I said, "Hey, we're gonna go back, or I'm gonna go get another round." So I went and I grabbed another round, and then so I grabbed another round. Ray drank his. I drank mine.
I vaguely remember you grabbing the last round, and that was
then-
about it.
And then Chava said, "Nah, man, I can't drink this." So I told Rich, because I told Rich the story before you guys got here, and it was funny because the actual way that it went was I was drinking my beer, and then I realized that Sal was the drunk.
Well, yeah, I'm supposed to be. It's my birthday.
No. I'm saying, sorry. Sal was the drunk level where he was like, I can't have any more.
See, I'm a responsible drunk, ladies
Exactly.
and gentlemen.
Where he said, I can't have
Responsible.
no more, man. I can't drink that. And Ray was the drunk level where he's like, you shouldn't probably have any more, because Ray was like, Puerto Rico, all fucked up. And I was like, oh, man, you probably shouldn't have any more. And I was the one that was like, all right, well, like, what's going on? I'm going to taste these beers. Like, do you detect some coconut? Like, like,
Yeah,
yours
that,
just
that wasn't happening at all. A beer was a beer right at that time.
Yeah, dude. Well, to me, like, dude, I was like, dude, these breweries were off the
I mean,
hook,
yeah,
dude.
the
There
beers
was
were
like,
good.
dude, both those breweries were like, from my experience, you go into a brewery, and there's like maybe 20 people in there, dude.
Yeah, no, the crowds were
You know,
good.
dude, we went
yeah.
in there, and there was like hundreds of fucking people in there, and I was like, holy shit, is this a club? But it was only serving beer, and I was like, dude, this is a fucking badass brewery.
yeah, it is.
And
Yeah,
then-
skee ball and fucking,
Yeah, dude, paying fucking cornhole and
Skee-ball.
everything, dude.
Yeah, skee ball.
Skee ball?
You don't remember the skee ball tables?
No?
Dude, they had straight out skee ball.
You don't remember that? I remember that. Like,
Wow.
there are people playing skee ball in the back, and I was like, holy shit, skee ball?
God damn.
And I was like, dude, I know it's time to get turned
Hey guys,
up.
I think you accidentally walked into a Dave and Buster's.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
But yeah. So, I know I got lit.
Yeah, it was really fucking
Well, apparently
crazy.
I was too. But,
To the point that, like, obviously we ended up just grabbing the train back
yeah.
early on,
Have everybody seen the picture on our Instagram?
and we
yeah.
threw it up on the pictures.
Ray and I were like knocked
Dude,
out.
we were all Mimi Land on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And George all taking
Well, fuck, I had to.
Selfies.
I met this cool ass dude. I mean, fuck, I gave him a card. Hopefully, he fucking.
You
hits
met
us up.
somebody?
Yeah.
Where?
What? While we were
On the
sleeping?
yeah, on the train.
What the hell?
We were sleeping. I had to excuse myself. I was like, "Excuse me, dude," because we were having a good conversation. And I was like, "Excuse me, man. I gotta take a picture of my fucked up friends." He's like, "Yeah, go for it. I understand."
Wow. I don't. Yeah, I was totally asleep.
Yeah, he was going to Monrovia.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And then sound of
Nice,
music.
deep, fucking thrusting conversation.
And then we wake up and then like Sal lost his glasses.
I did lose my glasses.
Like they're gone or what?
Yeah,
Well,
they're gone.
Yeah, they were gone. But freaking jackass George was like,
Not jackass.
he was, I guess he was trying to take a picture or a video or something.
Yeah.
And he sent it to me. He's like, dude, look at your glasses. They were on the floor underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
When-
we saw where they were.
Yeah. I took a video of you guys being all fucked. Oh no, here's the thing. I took a picture of you guys being all fucked up, and then I accidentally hit the video button. So in hitting the video button, I was walking back to my seat, and in that accidental video, you can see Sal's glasses on the floor on the train. And I was like, dude, check it out. You can see it. And Sal's like, why didn't you pick them up? I was like, fuck, I didn't even know I fucking recorded that.
And then there's like Sal's all drooling in his
So
sleep.
you're welcome to anybody who found my glasses. You won't be able to see shit out of them, but I'm hoping you enjoy them. Anyway.
Some hipsters fucking wearing them right now.
Yeah. He just popped the lenses out.
Or some like
hipster.
hipster
Yeah.
chick.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, sweet. Look, black frame glasses. Oh, yeah, sweet.
But hey,
Anyway.
man, fucking hipsters are hipsters. It's weird because like a lot of people call us hipsters. You know, like they say like, oh, you go to Arts District, you like this, you like that.
No, we
Chains.
just like beer.
Well, no,
hipsters.
but it's kind
I
of.
mean, I guess we fall.
It's kind of
we
weird because
fall in the hipster category, but
we
like
kind of do, dude. We kind of do. Like it's
Why
funny.
is it? Because we go to downtown LA?
no, because we
no,
drink
no.
craft beer and stuff.
It's we drink craft beer.
We just like good beer.
no, we drink craft beer. We like the old stuff. We acknowledge like the.
What do you mean old stuff?
Like the old stuff, like all the good arts. You know, like.
That's
okay.
because we grew up with that stuff, not because we're like,
Well, for example, like we went to we tried to record this episode on Wednesday, but we had dinner plans, right? My wife and I.
Yeah.
So we went with our dinner plans.
That's rich, by the way.
I apologize.
No, it's
But
alright.
so the reason why we went is because we were catching this band, and they were called the Vignes Rooftop Band. Badass, dude. All strings, all fucking. It has a very New Orleans vibe to it.
You see, that's
Really
very
fucking
hipster.
cool.
That's very hipster of you to like new bands.
But
I
that's-
can't like new
You say
bands anymore.
Vignes? Are you sure it wasn't Vines?
No, Vignes. They pronounce themselves Vignes. I think they're Vignes. I mean, that's what they said, Vignes.
That's Mumford and Sons cover band, right?
But dude, you know what's funny, dude, is that it is very Mumford and Sons.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, though, dude. Is like you give us a bluesy kind of like, and that kind of goes back to Viva.
Yeah.
Is that like you know, throwback to Viva,
Would you consider like Viva people hipsters?
dude? I got called a hipster one day.
What?
One day I was dressed like, you know how I dress. I don't dress like a hipster. I dress
you
more like
dress like a
rockabilly.
crooner.
Yeah, like a crooner, exactly. This motherfucker. I was outside
Where was this at?
on my break at Charter.
A charter?
Yeah. So do you know at Mr. Black?
Yeah.
Or whatever. It doesn't matter. Charter. It doesn't matter. I work
Wait,
for
what
Charter.
are you talking about? We don't work there.
I work for a big corporation.
We work at Mr. Black.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Oh, go on,
so,
go on.
You can edit this later.
So yeah, I was
Beep it out.
at work, right? It doesn't matter if they know. Like, I mean, I have a podcast. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We have a podcast. Fuck it.
Oh, so now it's your podcast.
Oh, okay, we see.
No,
It's
because when
over
they
now.
when they see me, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you have a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have a podcast." Or no,
Oh, you're a
I'm not
hipster,
gonna say
bro.
that. We have a podcast.
That's the reason why.
Whatever. So I'm out there, right, and I'm wearing slacks and wingtips. I'm just looking sharp, And this motherfucker comes out to me, and he's like, "I like your style, man." And I was like, "Thanks, man." He's like, "We need a lot more hipsters in the world." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
What?
I was like, "What?" And the reason why I couldn't turn him down, because if you don't know, back in the day, they actually used to record the commercials for Charter there.
Yeah, I
in
know.
Irwindale-
Yeah,
in
they still have
Irwindale.
the like on-air signs or whatever in the
Yeah.
warehouse.
So that guy was actually the main big dude director for all the commercials
really?
that you see everywhere. So I couldn't be like, fuck you, man, because like he's a big head, you know? It's like, well, if you think I'm a hipster, then I guess fuck
Maybe
I
he'll
guess
put you in
I'm
the
a
next
maybe I'm a
commercial.
hipster. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like it, but I do like a lot of the shit that happens downtown, you know? So fuck, it's kind of catch-22,
Or
man.
maybe he doesn't
But
know what
then
a hipster is really.
But then again, like, I guess there's different styles of hipsters. I guess you know,
Well,
but
me,
like,
me and Heather were talking about that. We said that there's different levels of like what a hipster is, right? There's like the vegan, ride bikes, and these crazy like, you know, like
Ride
hipsters,
bikes.
you know. And then there's
Those
other
are
hipsters.
mustaches.
Yeah, because there's
Beards.
there's another. The one thing that hipsters do, right, is they acknowledge like crafts.
Yeah.
You know, like craft
I make
beer,
my own
craft-
soap. I make my own laundry detergent.
Exactly.
I make my own candles.
And I really respect that, you know? Which is actually kind of a good segue to our special guest because
Yes.
Rich
Is the
makes
king
his
of
own,
hipsters?
He's the king of hipsters because he makes his own wallets.
Fucking hipster.
Right, right.
He makes his own leather gear. He makes his own belts.
I sell to hipsters, but I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So, Rich, tell us about your company.
So, like, yeah, dude, like, I mean,
Tell us your name.
well, first,
Tell everybody your name.
I have a follow-up
Where
question
you're
to
from.
Richard.
that. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Richard. Everybody give Richard a clap.
Thanks, guys.
I'm giving nail claps right here. Can you hear that?
I can.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah, that's gross.
Why are your nails that
Trim your
long?
nails.
Huh?
Why are your nails that long? Trim your nails, dude.
So I could play folklorico music.
And guitarra.
So Rich makes his own leather. He's a leather god. I mean, in my opinion, he's a leather god, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I
follow-
personally have a
You
wallet.
still use mine or what?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, you have it on you or what?
No, I don't.
What a dick. What are you fucking wearing now? What are you using now?
Well,
Calvin
right,
Klein wallet.
No,
You son of a
yeah,
bitch.
actually,
You realize
no, no,
you realize it's too big for you, right?
He has a hipster
No, like-
wallet. It's made out of duct tape.
I bought a trucker. I bought a
True
trucker wallet.
craftsmanship.
I bought a trucker wallet from Rich, and it's pretty fucking sweet. But only because it was given to me as a gift, I'm using it right now by
What's that?
my wife. She bought me a Gucci card.
Oh,
you
that,
fuck.
dude.
Let me see that.
Oh, get out of here. Look at Rich.
Whoa, she
What-
bought this when?
Jesus.
For people that can't see this, Rich is
Rich-
inspecting the
Rich-
leather work on this.
Rich can make
He's
that.
he's overseeing.
I'm pretty sure he
Hold on.
can make that.
Let me give you an overview here.
Oh shit, man, literally, huh?
Rich,
That's
is,
nice, dude.
Rich has it in his hands. He's looking at it.
Anyway,
He's
so not to
inspecting
take
it.
away from
Hold on,
Rich.
hold on. He's inspecting the leather work. He's
Yeah,
smelling
yeah,
it. He's checking the stitching. He's stitching. He's checking it. He's checking to make sure that it's actual genuine leather.
Yeah.
He's
I think it's a
making
knockoff,
note
dude.
of the craftsmanship on
It's a
this.
total knockoff.
But I do have like all my other stuff in my wallet in my
Rich,
trucker
hold on,
wallet.
wait. Where is that from?
Gucci?
Gucci. It's a Gucci wallet. All right.
Italy?
Rich. In
So
your,
fucking hipster of you,
Hold on,
dude.
hold on, Rich. In your honest opinion, can Ray hand that down to his son in 30 years based on the craftsmanship of that Gucci card holder? As compared to your card holders
Do we need a drum roll?
that like this. Look at this wallet, dude. I fucking put this thing through hell and I still carry Rich's wallet, which is funny because like he has a
Thing's fucking obese, dude.
clasp. It is. I put a lot of
Why do
cards
you
in
put
it.
so much in there?
Well, because I carry a lot of shit.
Because he's a
but
Mexican man. He carries his fucking receipts in that thing.
all my jeans have a
His
button
taxes?
on them now. Yeah.
Taxes, freaking, he has like every single business card he's ever grabbed from a company.
What I'm getting at though, dude, is that like
Coupons.
His freaking car wash, like 10 for, get 10 get one for free.
I'm gonna actually check. I probably do have coupons.
And
on
he
this.
probably has like a one for coffee. Like
And
you,
receipts.
you get 10 coffees, get one free.
I have a lot of shit in this. Whatever, dude. We're getting off topic.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion,
Yeah.
I think that his craftsmanship and like the type of leather that he gets actually trumps like that kind of shit, dude, because it's mass produced. Like, I mean, I'm not disrespecting like all the crazy Chinese people that are working hours, for 30 cents.
Hey, dude, this is made in Italy, dude. So it's a
day.
bunch of like Italian kids.
Yeah, I bet it's made in Italy.
Fucking
Giuseppe.
working for soup.
You've only made 5 wallets, but your quota is 10. You be working at night.
I'm just saying, Rich, what do you think, dude? Like, what's your honest opinion about like actual leather work and like how it's influencing, today? Because I mean,
Yeah, well, you know, like
Is it-
there's a shit ton of leather workers out there, you know, and stuff like that. You
Well,
know?
tell us what you do.
Yeah,
tell
what-
everybody,
okay.
tell everybody what you do.
yeah.
Well,
First of all.
yeah, I own a small company. It's only me. It's called Salazar and Sons. You know, I been at it for about about 4.5 years now, something like that. And yeah, I make mainly men's leather goods like wallets and like small accessories and stuff like that you carry every day, like key holders, wallets, card wallets and stuff like that. And yeah, so you know, I source a lot of my stuff overseas. You know, I use a lot of Italian leather. I use Japanese, American. You know, I try to like you know, really source my stuff and be particular about where I source my stuff. And yeah, you know, it's kind of like I make stuff that if you want something unique that's going to be, you know, like you know, somewhat of an heirloom piece, you know, for you could use for years, you know, that's what I specialize in.
And if everybody out there, it's not like, you know, we've just known Rich for a couple of years. I mean, myself, I've known Rich since high school. Ray goes way back with Rich.
Yeah.
I've known Rich since kindergarten.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're all good friends with Rich.
We used to play karate on the playground together.
Yeah, just beat the shit out of them.
And it still continues today.
Rich even taught me how to whistle.
Yeah, supposedly I did, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Rich doesn't remember, but I remember Rich taught me how to whistle.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a great story.
And I still can't whistle that good. Shows how good a teacher he is.
Just a bad student, dude.
But
Yes.
dude, like
Okay.
your leather work is like, I don't know, man. Like, we've always known you like for as long as we've known you. You've always been like kind of that like obsessive guy. Like,
Yeah.
so if anybody, well, actually no, some people may know, but a lot of people don't know. Rich and Ray used to be in a band. It's called Reason Why, greatest punk rock band in SGB. In my opinion, I love them.
In the San
And-
Gabriel Valley.
Hey man, I love you guys.
Just second to Auxilio.
Yeah, just second to Auxilio and Fatal Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Now they're second to us.
dude, like the thing about you is like your compassion for like actual things that you do. Like you get obsessed about stuff. So like Rich was the one guy that like said fuck it, like, and then went to MI and you learned guitar like a motherfucker, dude. Like, cause that was your obsession, you know.
Yeah.
So like I can probably say that like
Rich is a very good guitarist, everybody.
fuck yeah,
Very
dude.
good.
Like he's a great guitarist. So like when you do something.
And by saying
And
great,
you,
we put it
you
very
get
lightly.
into you get into leather work because we talked about this before. Is your initial idea was you know, crafting things for wet shaver shields, and it started with vinyl, and then you
Yeah.
took it upon yourself to say, you know what, this is kind of shitty, and you
Yeah, it was.
identified it and said there could be better. There
Yeah.
could be better, and you started just rolling into this
Yeah.
and that, and like because your obsession with the actual craft of making these goods
Yeah.
led you into just becoming a great Leatherman worker, dude. Because in my opinion, dude, like I see the edges on your shit, dude. That shit's fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah,
I
thanks, dude.
follow some of the people that you tell me to follow. Hey, follow this guy's leather work. Follow
Yeah.
this guy's leather work, dude. Your shit looks fucking good, dude. So, I mean, what drives that? Like, I mean, your company is called Salazar and Sons, so obviously, you know,
And you want to give anybody a little background about how you chose your name?
Yeah.
Or
No,
Like, what
yeah,
drives
well,
you, you
yeah.
know?
Salazar and Sons is like, you know, a like an honor of my dad. You know, he's you know, hardworking dude. You know, he came
A
from
great
like,
man.
hell yeah.
Yes.
Thanks. Blue collar guy. You know, worked in the produce market. You know, in downtown LA for, you know, fucking like 40 years or some shit when he was like 15 years old. He started when he was 15 years old, and you know, he at some point, you know, like wanted to be like a upholstery worker, you know, and he always tells me this story about being a upholstery worker and doing that when he was like in his early teens, but he kind of like decided not to do that because he had, you know, family, you know, he had his first kid at 18, and this was back in like 60 fucking, I don't know, let's see, like 68 or something like that, or
68.
yeah, maybe fucking earlier than that actually. My oldest brother is 53 years old or 55 years old or some shit like that. So yeah, you know, and it was kind of honoring him. So like Salazar and Sons is like, you know, kind of like a like an honor of like kind of like a legacy kind of thing, you know, like, you know, like my logo even has my dad's initials in it, you know.
Really?
So yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
shit. I didn't even know that.
yeah, it's
It's a real
MSRS.
small one, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So in
that's
honor of my
badass.
dad. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's and my leather goods, is kind of like my whole thing of it is I don't make items just to like make them and sell them. I pour as much time and intricacy into my stuff as I can. Like I average a average wallet takes like maybe 10 to 15 hours to make.
Yeah, by hand.
By hand, yeah.
By hand.
Fully by hand. Everything's hand cut, hand stitched. Everything's finished by hand. So
Son of a bitch, Ray. Carrying that thing.
I know.
No disrespect, Vanessa, but fuck.
Okay, Gucci. Fuck.
Hey, I have my fucking
You make it
wallet ready.
You want me to make you a fucking card wallet? Make you a fucking card wallet. Carry that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Right.
man.
I mean, if anybody wants to check out Rich's stuff, I mean,
I'll buy it from you, too.
Rich, let everybody know your
Oh yeah,
your
my
Instagram or
yeah. My Instagram's Salazar and Sons, and I have a Facebook. It's under my own name, Richard Salazar. You can follow me there too. Yeah, I have a website too, but it's kind of like
where can anybody buy your items if they want to buy your items?
they could message me directly. If they're ever interested in anything that you see on the Instagram or whatever. You can just message me directly. My website's a work in progress right now because I'm working on some items for a local shop in LA. I guess I'll just promote them now because my stuff I'm gonna deliver probably in a couple weeks. But Montsevias, I think it is, and was it Montsevias and Co. It's some
You made
shop.
some gray hats, right?
Yeah, some awesome early 1900s inspired caps, and he's opening up his shop and a retail store in Cypress Park, and he was cool enough to ask me, to supply his shop with some leather goods, some belts and some wallets and stuff like that. So I'll have some like one-off items there, and hopefully I'll supply his shop with like a lot of other stuff, in the future and stuff like that. So, but yeah, you could either message me on my on Instagram or salazarandsons@outlook.com. But yeah, check it out. If you're ever interested in some like unique, goods or gifts and stuff like that, that's what I do.
Awesome. And we're not plugging Rich just because he's our friend. He really does awesome work. If you guys check it out, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's awesome.
Do you sell anything do you sell at any other shops local? Like
No.
So no,
No, not yet.
It's all online.
Yeah, there's not a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of shops local, but they're particular about like selling stuff like how to say more popular makers and stuff like that. And this guy was cool enough and
Like Gucci.
He's only selling, yeah, like Gucci, motherfucker. No, he's. Well, what's cool about his shop is that he's only gonna sell fucking Los Angeles makers.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
which is cool, because and not a lot of shops do that. They sell like a lot of shit out
Whatever,
of state,
right? Yeah.
whatever stuff, places that could supply him like a pretty good steady of shit because they have like fucking 20 employees to make them,
Is he a
Yeah.
hipster?
Yeah.
Well, would you exactly back to what would you consider hipster?
Okay, well, there like it's like Ray said, there's a lot of variations of hipsters and stuff like that,
Yeah.
The thing is like the difference between like say like to me us to like a typical hipster that you would fucking see on like oh yeah, like the definition of hipster, is that we're more like I remember reading this book that Ray had. It was like the blue collar hipster or something like that,
Yeah, no, it was
And this
the
was
history of a hipster or something like that. Yeah.
And there in this book a reference to like blue collar hipsters to white collar hipsters, and me, I think we're blue collar hipsters, just for the fact that I think that a lot of like the hipster culture and stuff like that, it either comes out of like affluence sort of, like fucking, your daddy sent you to fucking Harvard and now you fucking, you're a vegan
Everything
and
that's old.
yeah, you love everything is old just because it's like the fad and shit like that, like to me, like blue collar hipsters are into into what they're into because they love what they're into. They're not into like trends and stuff for that, Like they're into the shit that they like because they actually like it. They're not into it because everybody fucking else likes it. You know, like there's a lot of fucking hipsters that go to fucking like I don't know. I'm probably ranting or different. There's a lot of hipsters like
go for it.
There's probably hipsters that go to fucking Coachella and shit like that, and they call themselves hipsters.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, you know, and
But we're not gonna go Coachella. Like I mean,
I wouldn't.
yeah, I know.
I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, I would never go there. But fucking
It's too hot.
or even like the arts districts, you know. I mean, I always see a lot of people touting that they're fucking artists and shit like that. You know, my thing is that you're not an artist if some fucking Joe Schmo on the street could fucking do the same shit that you do. You know, and
well, here's
I know. So that kind of ties into my shit. I mean, I'm not, you know, maybe I'm sounding fucking self-righteous or some shit like that. But
no. But I hate to like cut you off, you know, because to that point, like where you said, like you're not an artist just because you say you're an artist, right? Like I've been reading a book, right, that says that an actual artist themselves, they pursue their art without envisioning what it's gonna pay to them.
Yeah,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I think a lot of these like quote unquote hipsters, these white collar hipsters, are artists that say like, oh, I'm gonna do this because there's a market for it or because I want to be famous. A true artist like yourself, in my opinion, my humble opinion, you do it because you love it, dude. Like you love actually, because I know your actual behavior of being obsessed with the art of it, of doing these things. So you do it and you're just like, dude, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the best I can. And you don't care if you become famous over it. You don't care if like, you know, you just love doing it, you know? Yeah. And that's true art, in my opinion. Like the true professional artist does it with the intention of doing it because they love it, not because they think they're gonna get rich from it. And that's a problem with like the white collar hipsters. Is that they think they're gonna make art. They're like, I'm gonna spray paint this and I'm gonna make this piece of art.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt and I'm gonna get big because of my brand.
I'm gonna get so many followers and
it says obey on it.
Like yeah, exactly.
No, but that guy's legit though.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's
like my thing is that you know is that somebody took the time to like actually like or whatever people that buy from me or whatever, you know, like what kind of drives me is like, you know, is selling an item that somebody's gonna actually admire, you know. Yeah. And that's what really like that's what really drives me and stuff like that, you know, like people, the admiration or whatever, like if people actually like my work or whatever, you know, that's what kind of drives me and stuff like that. And I think that's what every artist kind of strives for, you know. Yeah. You know, I don't think, you know, somebody's just,
not,
you know,
it's not money or like
no, it's not penny,
like it's like it's one of the things like where you feel like, hey, I want this person to admire how much time I took.
Exactly, yeah.
Not like I want to be famous. Yeah. I just want you to like admire, hey, I poured my heart and soul into this fucking belt, wallet, car holder, whatever it may be. Yeah. And know that this came from my hands. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like that's something deep that like people don't realize, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, so that kind of reflects on my work. You know, like I said, you know, if you're, you know, not just you know, going for like the everyday Gucci fucking item that you know, but you know, you want something that's crafted by one person and one person only, you know, then check out my stuff, you know, and you know, and yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, because you know that what you buy was actually made by Rich's hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there might be some blood on there.
Yeah, but hey, that makes it much more beautiful.
And it's made in the motherfucking U.S. of A.
Yeah. Singapore Valley.
Don't get political, motherfucker.
Yeah, how's that political? It's made in the USA.
You're all like, shh. No, what do you have in the United States in this? We're just talking about lives.
Oh, if there's one thing I had to, if there's one thing I have to say is about Rich is like I value his opinion a lot. Yeah. Which is what I miss about losing our first original episode 7. Yeah. It's because we got into kind of like a movie talk, and I know Rich is a big movie buff. Yeah. And I'm only bringing that up is because today the new Alien movie comes out.
Hey, how about let's talk about it then, right?
Dude,
what the fuck?
Well, dude, that actually just reminded me.
Yeah.
Rich. Yeah. I have to tell you that you got to check this out if you haven't seen it already.
What's that?
So usually on my
new It trailer.
No,
I saw that already.
That's what
fuck, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But I mean, for the episode 7, we lost. We did talk about
we talked about the It trailer, And
Oh, did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, we
yeah,
did.
we did,
Okay.
because it's pretty sweet, and we all got to go see it together.
Yeah, we'll have to go see that.
Yeah.
I
But
made a pact.
Yeah, and like I was mentioning, the new Alien movie comes out today.
Yeah.
So I mean,
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ray. Cut you
Oh,
off.
sorry.
Continue.
But usually on my days off of work, I like to watch movies, you
Yeah.
know? And so I was going through my list of movies, and I decided to watch a movie. It's a indie horror movie, and it was called Don't Fuck in the Woods.
are you serious?
Yeah, that's the actual title, Don't Fuck in the Woods. And
It's a very hipster title.
And it's indie?
Yeah, it's
Don't Fuck in the Woods?
You know, it's an independent movie. Yeah, Don't Fuck in the Woods. And
Makes sense.
I was looking. I was like, all right, I'll fucking give it a shot. You know.
And people probably shouldn't do that though.
And
Like bugs and malaria,
oh heck no, dude! You fucking tense. You know, you go out to
rattlesnakes,
Pine needles.
Azusa Canyon or San
Yeah.
Angeles Forest, Los Angeles Forest, like
bring
mountains
you
or whatever.
amoeba.
But so I was watching this horror movie, and I was like, dude, I haven't seen a movie so great in a long time. Like this
was
was
that
like
good?
this was like legit.
You're
like
saying it was that good?
dude, this was legit B horror movie gold. Like maybe you guys wouldn't like you
Well,
like
Rich
George and
might.
Sal.
Yeah, Rich might.
But
Yeah.
like me and Rich would probably respect it because one, it was a
'Cause-
horror movie, and it had the perfect formula, dude. Like one, they didn't use any of that CGI bullshit. You know, they
That's
used
what Rich loves.
they used all special
loves.
effects. Fucking
love
a lot
CGI.
of fucking gore, blood, a lot of blood, a lot of everything.
Rich is
and,
drooling right now. He's like,
No, and the first thing I
practical
thought,
effects.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
the first thing I thought was like, dude, I can't wait to like talk to Rich about this because like he needs to watch it to like maybe get his opinion. Because to me, I thought it was really good. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like I said, like it was a B-rated movie. You know, like
Yeah.
like the acting was good, but it wasn't like a fucking blockbuster actors you know
Yeah.
thing. But like, and then the storyline was like horror movie gold. Like like there was a monster in the woods.
Don't fuck out there.
You know,
because you'll die. But people fuck
he-
anyway.
Yep, exactly. And
So those people were fucking.
yeah, and they all died. but I was like, dude, Rich has to check this movie out. You know,
Yeah.
Rich has to check this out. But
Because Rich is actually like the same way that Rich introduced you to like horror movies. Rich introduced me to zombie movies. He's like the zombie god, dude. Like that taught me like about like actual zombie movies. You know,
Rich
like,
loves horror movies. I
like
think. Yeah.
practical
well,
well,
effects
no,
are
Rich
just, like-
Rich never introduced me to horror movies.
Yeah.
I thought
I
that's
just
what
gotta
you said.
correct you there.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
No, that I used to love watching horror movies, but meeting Rich or knowing Rich.
Oh, he was
like,
the only person that got it on
yeah,
that level.
Yeah, and so
Oh,
like that's
gotcha.
why we seen all the same movies like that. Fucking for all the listeners to watch like Burial Ground. It's like a 1978 movie. Total shit.
Yeah, it's so shit.
And on the cover, it's like the best fucking effects.
No, you know the
best
thing is,
thing
I wouldn't say I'm like a horror movie buff, but like I like horror movies, you know, and I like I like a lot of 80s movies, you know, like in general, you know, like when I was growing up, you know, like I didn't play with a lot of toys in a sense, you know. I used to, my dad you know worked graveyard, so he used to rent a lot of movies all the time, you know, to keep us preoccupied during the day for shut the fuck up, you know. And so you
See,
know,
the bad part is that my dad was the same way, but he used to just get his Disney movies, not horror movies. So I just grew up Beauty and the Beast.
You're all
and
watching
Aladdin.
like
Well, you know,
Pocahontas.
Yeah, and Pocahontas, yeah.
Yo, you had a sister, so that's
why
different.
you're
Yeah,
puss
that's
now,
true.
dude.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense now.
No, but you know, we used to go down to a VHS whatever store off of Valley or whatever. You know,
Video
it's
something
closed up now. I think it was right next to Fresh and Easy. It used to
Yeah.
be, now it's some Chinese.
Well,
you know,
what?
sorry to break.
What freaking is there even any video rental stores around?
The
anymore?
very
There's
first
some. There's some.
the very
Is there?
first movie
Yeah.
I saw in the drive-in was in San Gabriel Drive-In Theater, right? Was,
Wait.
I remember that.
The San Gabriel Drive-In Theater,
Yeah.
like on
It's
Valley.
no longer there.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
like
which one?
where that Chinese Plaza is now.
Yeah.
No shit.
I saw RoboCop
Yeah.
there for the first time.
What?
Yeah, I saw Aliens there. Aliens
What?
there.
The original Aliens.
No. It's
Aliens.
Alien.
Aliens is the second.
Aliens, not
Aliens is the
Alien.
second movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Okay.
We saw Aliens there, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw RoboCop too. That sounds pretty familiar. But yeah, I saw. So like,
Fuck, I feel like such a square.
yeah, I
You
know.
are.
I am.
So like, you know, I've seen like a shit ton of 80s movies that like like are kind of obscure now and stuff like that. Like there's like
well, you showed
there's
me
some
the
shit.
original thing.
Yeah, there. Oh,
That
yeah.
was
well,
fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, talk
It was
about
awesome.
talk about like that's one of my favorite horror movies ever. I think it's like the perfect
It's awesome.
perfect
dude.
horror movie. The practical effects are fucking like awesome. They stand up to fucking effects like CGI even today and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The storyline, the atmosphere, the acting, that fucking Kurt Russell in there. You know?
Dude. Yeah.
Like it was an awesome movie, and like then you take like the fucking remake or the prequel to the thing, that they made in 2010 or something like
with
that.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit,
She's pretty. She's pretty, but
Putting it
it wasn't
lightly.
that good.
Well, whatever, like and horror movies like that's where a lot of them like they run to a lot of the cliches and shit like that, and
Well, especially nowadays.
yeah, nowadays, and there's just a lot of crap out there now, but I like the B movie horror genre because that's their whole thing is that they use practical effects. They're about getting actors. Maybe they're nobodies and stuff like that.
But that's the best part, right?
Yeah, I think that's the best part because like you're not
You're not going to criticize them based on
pre-assumptions
their
of, like,
previous work.
Exactly.
yeah, previous work and stuff like that. The one movie I'm kind of looking forward to is fucking the Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
and
yeah, I heard
is
about
white was it fucking Man in the White City or some shit like that or. It's about HR whatnot. Fuck, I forgot. It's a serial killer.
It's about HR.
HR. It's a HR. Not I would say HR Geiger, but that's an artist.
I thought you said it was about some crazy dude from HR that just fucking kills everybody.
No.
It's like, fuck, everybody's frightened, dude. All these white collar guys are fucking frightened.
It's about
a fucking guy in HR that kills all crazy.
It's
like,
fucking Friday. It's time to
he's
kill.
on HR. He's all, fuck you guys.
No, it's about some serial killer in their the turn of the century or early 1900s or whatever. Like he fucking made like a murder hotel and shit like that.
What?
Yeah, he built like fucking a hotel in New York and stuff like that, right?
I heard about a place like that in New Orleans.
Okay, yeah. Or maybe it was Boston or some shit like that. I think it actually was Boston or Chicago. He made this fucking like murder hotel and it was the World's Fair. I think that's in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
The World's Fair was in Chicago.
Yeah,
Well, it's
it was during.
everywhere, but
Yeah, it was
back then it skipped cities. So like back then it was in Chicago.
Yeah, back then it was Chicago, and there's thousands of people going through that city, like throughout the year and stuff like that. And like he like supposedly killed like upwards of like fucking 200 people and shit. Yeah, he was like considered like
The best serial killer ever.
Yeah, and like so he made some murder castle where he made some like gas chambers and fucking like boilers to fucking kill people.
What?
Like big ass acid pits in the fucking basement and stuff like that.
What the
I forgot his
hell?
name. I'll look it up.
Dude, what the fuck? This shit's trippy as fuck.
Yeah. So he made this thing burned down, and now there's like a post office there. The only reason I know that is I saw some
It's like a
documentary
post
on
office
it.
now.
We're just going to
So-
cover this up.
Yeah. So
It's a city library now.
Everybody come have fun.
Yeah, so I'm kind
the
of interested in that movie because
ghost
it's kind of like a really different role for or it's a kind of different kind of movie for fucking Scorsese. It's kind of like a horror in a sense.
Yeah.
Like horror suspense.
Because I
and
love
stuff, so-
Scorsese, dude. So to see that interpretation of like,
Yeah.
I want to see that. It's kind of funny because like Heather always tells me you don't like watching horror movies because I don't, But I mean, if it's Scorsese, fuck, dude, I think I need to watch that, dude.
Yeah,
It sounds really fucking trippy.
Yeah, I think it's Devil in the White City, but I'll look it up right now.
You know what's funny is that you say you don't like horror movies, and I had a laugh today because, whoever doesn't know, I work with George's brother, and he said that
His name is
when
Chris.
he said his name is
He's
Chris.
really cool. He's like a younger, sexier, thinner version of me.
Dude, he's just a bitch and he just stands there.
Anyway,
he's
so
not.
he said that when you guys were kids, like, you guys used to get freaked out by it ties into the whole like today's like the movie Alien comes out.
Yeah.
And he said that when you guys were kids, you guys used to get freaked out by the part in E.T. where they're flying on the bike and E.T. is flying to the moon.
Dude, yeah. Dude, check this out, dude. Like this is the way like that we were raised. When the movie came out, Independence Day, remember Independence Day in 1996?
Yeah.
We thought it was real.
What?
Yeah.
That's 96.
Yeah, dude. We thought like it was like a fucking like this is gonna fucking happen. Cause we had no idea. Cause back then there was no internet, there was no nothing, And we saw this and we're like, is this like the world telling us to fucking like this is what's gonna come? Because think about it, dude. We're fucking raised in an environment where like our parents are Mexican. They're not from America. They don't know anything about like the culture of America. They are straight out from Mexico.
Yeah.
Born and raised, right? So we're first generation Mexicans raised here. When I went to elementary school, they told me that I have to go to these classes that are first Mexican speaking. Or
You mean
Mexican.
like ESL?
Yeah, ESL, exactly. That you have to go to ESL, exactly.
Hey,
Because you don't know. Because you don't know. And I was like,
know.
well,
I don't know.
I think I'm pretty well spoken, but no, let me take a test. And I took a test and like, okay, well, you don't have to go. Whatever. So like, we're in the kind of realm where my parents, their only connection to pop culture is Channel 34, you know? So back in 1996,
Univision.
Like
Univision did not know
painting?
about some blockbuster alien movie coming out, right? And so like we're all just hearing about like, oh, like, you know, you have to repent because you're Catholic and all this bad shit's gonna happen if like whatever. And then all of a sudden we're watching the Super Bowl, dude. I'll never forget it. We're watching the Super Bowl, and then it's all July 3rd, and it's like aliens are coming. We're like, what the fuck?
Oh,
And then I was
jeez.
like, what the fuck? And I was like, because I was a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And it's all, when they come out of the clouds and it's like, when they just blow LA out of the water, I was like, oh my God. And I thought that was going to happen because like my parents would always say like, it's coming. Like God's going to come. And like, you know, like the
the
shit's going to go
rapture's
down.
coming. The
Exactly.
rapture's coming.
So I was like,
you know what's
oh
funny
my
about that
God.
is that George called me when you saw the trailer for San
Yeah.
Andreas. He's like, dude, you need to fucking prepare, man.
you
Andreas.
need to fucking get water and food.
San Andreas, I'm a grown man. I'm like,
He,
fuck the Rock.
he was
like,
wearing
no.
wearing an aluminum suit, and like an aluminum hat.
And aluminum
But
hat.
yeah, man, it freaked me out, dude. Like, I didn't know about like movies, you know, back then. So, like, I mean, I can go with your thing with my brother saying that he was freaked out because shit, dude. I used to get freaked out about all sorts of shit.
I'm sure it must
So-
have freaked you out when you saw that UFO in Arizona, right?
Oh, well, before we get to the for Arizona, so to get back to my brother's thing about ET flying across the moon. So
Or with the moon in the backdrop.
yeah, so the memory that I have, right? Remember Animaniacs? Mm-hmm. So remember, it's time for Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Animaniacs to the max.
Zany to the max.
Zany to the max. So like we used to watch that show and it was great, right? And it used to end, and it was that studio produced that show. So we used to watch it all the way through. But at the end of the show, once he knew the credits were done and E.T. was going to fly around the moon, my brother would leave.
What?
Because he was afraid of
Because
that?
he didn't want to see it.
What the hell?
Yeah. That's how fucked up. Like, he was like, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that fucking alien going across the moon.
That's like second generation
Yeah.
American.
And
right?
I remember there was this one time when I was like, just watch it. He's like, no. And it's all fucking going across the moon. It's like, end credits. It's like, it's not like the actual scene of a movie. It's like the actual, just like the end where like, it's like, they're like, oh, here we are, like the studio, you know? But like, he knew that it was going to be E.T. flying across the moon. He didn't want to watch
You know
it.
what's funny about that is that I'm hearing this story, right? And the shit that used to scare me when I was younger was fucking like Tales from the Dark Side. You know,
Oh, yeah, me too.
But those are scary, dude.
and this is like on the whole fucking like opposite realm of that, you know, like you know,
Yeah, I
that
know,
show's
yeah.
like I would have been like, are you fucking? Oh, you know what's funny about that is
We're a little bit more innocent.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I
mean,
get
you know,
it.
like we
Dude,
don't, you know,
but-
different upbringings.
to mention a story, I was like there was my mom bring she was one of her friends, whatever, right? She had two sons, kind of like the same age as me and Mondo, whatever, right? And they came over to sleepover one night, and my mom had like a little clown doll, like in on a shelf,
my God.
like a little clown doll, dude. It looked like fucking like a
hobo clown or something?
No. It was like in a little plastic fucking like a little plastic box, whatever, you know. And this thing looked like a fucking like a what do you call it, the Beanie Babies, you know.
Yeah.
It looked like fucking like it looked like a little puppy fucking dressed up as a clown, you know.
Jesus.
Like, you know, this is and so this, you know, this kid, you know, he came over to fucking sleep over, and he would not sleep in that room because of fucking little Beanie Baby fucking clown. And me and my brother were just like laughing at him, like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, are you fucking scared about that fucking clown?" And I just, it's kind of funny because obviously me and my brother like we weren't brought up like like in a sense like I guess we weren't like that sheltered because
Maybe he's seen the movie It. And he knows it's down. Yeah.
maybe
No, but I could just imagine because I would laugh too.
yeah.
Like in front of you and Mondo, dude. Like,
Yeah, dude.
he'd be like, "Come on,
Mondo's
dude.
the shit,
Are you
dude,
fucking
like-
kidding me?"
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can-
I was
I
like,
can-
"Are you fucking?" You were just like cracking up.
I can
Are you
imagine
fucking
like
serious?
Mondo's voice still being the same at that age and be like, dude, what the fuck? You're fucking. Are you
Are
scared
you
of this?
fucking serious?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you serious?
No,
serious
that's
right
where-
now?
That's where we were like, dude, you want us to fucking put that away? And my mom got pissed off with us because like obviously he's our guest and like
Because you were being
Yeah.
jerks.
we were being
Are
jerks.
you
So we're like,
teasing him or
dude,
what?
because this, and it was funny because this kid was a big kid. He was like 2 years older than my brother. He was like maybe 13 or 14 years old, and
You
he was
little
still
bitch.
scared of this fucking clown. And I was like, are you fucking serious? It's fucking like
Dude.
and
Dude, there's something about kids though, like when you're kids that like sometimes you like
get
it's
it, I
weird,
get it.
like you give into fear sometimes. You check
Yeah.
this out. Really quick before we move into
Your mystery beer.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think it's time for the
Yeah.
mystery beer corner.
really quick before we move into this into the mystery beer corner. There was this one time when remember back in the days when you used to sell chocolates and
Yeah.
like Kit Kats
Like
and all that?
fundraising?
Yeah,
Well,
fundraising.
I only sold the $1 ones that were almonds or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Like I mean, but we used to sell like the
You got like
boxes.
$2 off a round
Oh.
table pizza.
So
I
you
never did that, but go ahead.
So you used to be able to like actually like have prizes, For kids nowadays they probably don't do that. They probably just sell that shit online, like be like, yo, buy my shit. Whatever. So back in the days I remember I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, I think. And I used to get a box of chocolates and I used to just be like, Dad, handle it. He used to take it to the machine shop, slang it. Machine shop, slang it. Machine shop, slang it. And there was a prize for selling all these bars, right? And I was in the top of my class, right?
Look at you.
Yeah, I was.
Fucking wearing the vest and everything, huh?
Yeah, I was like, I'm in the top of my class. And they're like, all right, so you get to pick 2 prizes because you got the grand prize,
yeah.
It's grand prize number 1, which was like some shitty, like,
Like a freaking, like a bouncy ball, a jelly ball.
yeah, it was like something ridiculous, like some weird
Freaking
shitty
tape player radio?
Yeah. Or you actually qualified to go to Universal Studios with the class because we're all going to take the class at Universal Studios.
Oh, okay, but you got to go for free.
Yeah, but you got to go for free.
All right.
And I was so scared of King Kong, I didn't go.
What?
I didn't go. And I remember I was like, Dad, I won the
But you
first
had
prize.
you had the trip.
I know, and they showed me the like you get to go to Universal Studios, but I didn't know what Universal Studios was. I had never seen the movie
You just saw
King
the
Kong.
King Kong thing.
I just saw like a big ass monkey fucking tearing down the thing, and I was like, I don't want to go to that.
Wow.
And I didn't go. I took like the Nerf ball or whatever. Because that's how uneducated I was, dude.
That's
Like, it was just so.
terrible.
I could have taken a trip to Universal Studios and had a great time and had, but I took a fucking like little prize.
Nerf ball with a little whistle on it.
Exactly,
So it
something
whistles
something bullshit.
Dude, you just threw away the trip of a lifetime. To this day,
And I
I
remember-
have never been to Universal Studios.
And what's funny
Are
is
you
that,
fucking kidding me?
Never.
dude,
I've
what's
never
funny
been
is
there,
that
dude.
what's funny is that even my dad was like, "What? Like, you're not gonna go?" He's like, "Mijo, no, it's fake. It's not like it's not real. Like, you're not gonna be scared. It's all like this." And it's like Disneyland. It's like Disneyland. And I was like, "No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go because I was scared of the fucking monkey, and I was scared of Jaws, and I was scared
An
of like,
earthquake?
all this
It's like,
shit.
fuck, what have I
Exactly.
done?
And I was like,
It's like I just fucking I rented Little Mermaid fucking last week and I was just fucking scared of everything else.
and then when I actually went in adulthood, I was like, "Oh, you fucking idiot little kid, dude! Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck, dude? Like, like, super embarrassing, dude. It was really bad.
We all have those. We all have
We
those.
do.
Okay, so on to your mystery beer corner. Is that what we're doing?
All right, so let's wrap this bitch up.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up with some mystery beer fucking corner.
George's Beer Mystery Corner.
Yeah.
George's Beer Mystery Corner.
All right, so what do we have this week?
All right, so we're gonna get out of here really quick. We have a beer. I'm gonna cap this. So
I don't know if we mentioned what we were drinking during the show, but I bought a 18 pack of Rolling Rock, so we've been drinking Rolling Rock throughout the whole.
We're just kind of taking it easy,
episode.
Rolling Rock. It's like again to mention the last episode 7. It's a bummer because we had a really good mystery beer last time. I don't exactly remember the name of it, but I know it was a marshmallow s'more type-ish type of beer.
I brought it from Oregon, and it was a marshmallow campfire.
Right, yeah, it was really good.
We'll never get that back.
I actually have to pee, so I'll be right back.
Ah, man, really?
Just talk amongst yourself.
No,
really
just
quick.
pause it then. Hurry up.
No.
He has to go. Hurry.
Just
Yeah,
pause it
no,
really
Rich
quick.
has to go.
Dude, I'm gonna piss
All right,
myself.
just pause it. Really quick. Hurry up.
Okay, pause. Unpause.
So we're missing out on the actual beer from Oregon, which was delicious. It tastes like an actual
Like s'more.
s'more. Yeah, it was delicious.
It was really good.
That's pretty good.
Campfire Stout. I think it was the actual name.
Yeah,
I can't
dude.
remember the name of the brewery.
I could actually taste some marshmallows.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember tasting that.
Right. Anything we
Yeah.
missed or whatever from the previous episode 7, we'll just blame it all on Ray. I mean, you know, it's his fault anyways.
I'm
gonna-
sorry.
He has all the state of art equipment, fucking a Mac, fucking
Yeah.
like
You know, I got a MacBook and I got a mouse that's like remote control, and apparently it let me down. So fuck you, Mac,
I
and
think-
fuck you, mouse.
I think you got the error message that said that it couldn't handle so much porn, dude. It's like it
Yeah.
can't handle so much porn. It's all porn or podcast, and you said fuck it.
Not to
porn.
mention there was so
Yeah,
many
you
pop-ups
know what?
coming up. So
Yeah, I'm sorry because
Tons of
you know,
pop-ups.
I love my porn. You know,
all the scat.
I love my tributes.
Oh, this cat.
So again, that's the
All right, so this
physics
is the-
beer
I love my
system.
cuckolds.
This is the physics beer system. Oh
Jesus.
shit! I kind of gave a little bit too much head to chow
Oh,
right here.
thanks.
Wow, thank you. Appreciate it.
Just let us
It's
know.
all head.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
Ned,
what she said.
It's like it's like Ned Flanders. I would invite you to beer, but it's gonna be all head.
He didn't say that.
You remember
He
that?
did?
Yeah.
No, I never said that.
Oh,
so.
dude, come on,
Yeah,
dude.
man, because you're not a Simpsons fan like me and Georgia.
Yeah,
No,
fuck
dude,
you,
come on,
dude. I stopped
Mostly
watching The
head.
Simpsons in 2008.
Well, I don't watch it anymore. I
There's
just like the old
whiskey in
episodes.
this?
But I still remember them. They're memorable. Anyway, so we had Rolling Rock tonight. We had
Simpler times.
Simpler Times.
Yeah, Ray bought some fucking disgusting Southern Comfort that's nobody's touched.
we had Southern Comfort on the
Well,
table.
that was just in my bar, so I decided to
yeah,
get it.
and we had Four Roses
There's
Bourbon.
one more glass out there somewhere.
Four Roses Bourbon. Where's this from, George? Four Roses Bourbon?
Four Roses is from Kentucky, I think. And
well, yeah, but where'd you buy it?
Oh, I bought it from Ralph's. Oh, what's
Ralph's.
funny? Oh, the glass is right here. No. What's funny is that I bought for some reason Four Roses is it used to be a well-renowned actual distillery, but then it became shit for a long time. Kind of like everything
Kessler.
else. Yeah, Kessler. Yeah. And
10 High.
Don't
then-
talk shit about Kessler, man.
so then they got a new owner and they became well-renowned again.
So they just put a sign up in front of their
New ownership?
brewery saying new
Yeah,
ownership.
new
It's gonna be
ownership.
good.
shit's gonna be smooth. But I guess Ralph's ran out of space for the amount of Four Roses that they had. So a $20 whiskey that I usually get
And what you hear in the background is what again, George?
was hold on, wait, I'm just talking about the whiskey. But the
sorry.
whiskey was only $7.99 because it was on clearance. So if anybody doesn't know this,
Das?
don't be
Like Das Boot?
don't be scared to ever go to Ralph's or Albertsons and check
Trader
out the clearance
Joe's.
section, Trader Joe's, because there's always the clearance section, and sometimes they put quality booze back there because they're just out of shelf space. So this Four Roses bourbon, which usually retails at $19.99, was $7.99. I got a what was it? A Buffalo Trace for $9.99 that retails at $35, which I would have brought out, but it's a lot stronger than this, so I didn't bring it out because we would have
Yeah.
been super fucked up.
Speaking of clearance, really quick, do you remember the time when we cleaned out CVS from all their Tanqueray gin?
Dude, that was fun.
Yeah.
Tanqueray gin.
Tanqueray
like
gin was $7.
I bought all their
$7.
Bombay gin there because of that. Because
Dude.
they were going on that big ass sale.
Do you remember that? We went
Yeah.
to all the CVS.
No, it wasn't even
Yeah.
a sale. They were just putting it on clearance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was. They were doing a big old giant.
I remember
fucking-
that's when Jack Daniels first introduced their Jack
Liquidation.
Daniels
Yeah.
drinks, and they were selling them for $0.25.
No, I think it was when Save-On's was closing or
Oh,
something.
What?
that's right.
Was it?
Yeah.
Fucking a quarter?
A quarter. Dude, we went to every CVS
area.
in the driving area and
Yeah.
just stocked
We
up.
cleaned them out.
Yeah.
I remember buying the
Shit.
big bottles of Tanqueray gin. That's like, they still sell it now. It's
And
like
dude,
30, $40.
Hold on, dude.
A
This
bottle.
was hold on. So
You bought it for how much?
$6.
so to the people
Shut
that
the
$6
fuck
to $7.
up.
it was $6,
Yeah.
but to the people that don't know, it wasn't Tanqueray gin. It was Tanqueray 10. It was
Their
the
top shelf.
$45 bottle.
Shut
Yeah.
the
For $6.
fuck
Yeah.
up.
Because they just ran out of shelf space and they were like how Rich said they were going out of business.
I
and
remember.
they
I
was
remember George was trying to like fucking like save one. Like he was trying to save one. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But we ended up drinking it. We were like, oh
No.
he
Still
found it.
trying to be a cheapskate or
He
what?
found it one like under his like dresser or some shit, and like
Yeah.
he's like,
Oh, that's right,
I'm
'cause I
saving
hid
this.
it.
I was like, come on, dude, let's
No.
fucking drink it.
That's right. Dude, there was a party at our house and I hid it because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, everybody's drinking everything. So I hid the Tanqueray 10. And then Rich was like, dude, why are you trying to hide this? I was like, because fucking everybody's all fucking drinking everything, man. Like, they're disrespecting. They're just like chugging it.
Yeah,
like,
but
it's like,
we
this is
ended up
Tanqueray
drinking it,
10. Even though I only paid $7 for it, but fuck it, it's Tanqueray
Yeah,
10.
yeah,
You know?
same.
He
thing,
did hide it, but but we did like, we each bought like 3-4 bottles each
Yeah.
of that stuff. I know I had multiple bottles in my closet just sitting there that
Yeah.
I had bought. Yeah.
All right, so let's drink this beer.
Okay.
Do the physics system, by the way.
Okay.
Yes.
Smells like weed. Just like I like it.
So the,
It's an IPA, is it?
I'm guessing it's an amber.
nope.
I just said it was an IPA because it smells like weed, but
Rich, what do you think?
it's very hoppy.
So, let me,
Maybe like
while these guys are tasting,
like
I
a
will give
lager?
you a breakdown of the taste
A fucking
profile of this.
pilsner?
The people here at this brewery, they decide to create a brown ale that is smoothly drinkable,
It is
delicious, smooth, and it's one of the favorites, renowned.
renowned.
Rewound.
Say that again 3 times fast. Renowned.
Renowned throughout the world.
Really?
So what did you guess that it is?
I said it smelled
I
skunky
say
right
it's
away,
like
but then,
Newcastle.
and by the way, this is a
but
this
yeah,
is a,
exactly.
this is
I
a
was gonna
throwback, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a milder Newcastle. Yeah.
Very smooth, yeah. Clean.
I say it's a Newcastle wolf. Werewolf.
It's from the Newcastle family.
What do you say?
I think he's probably right. I think it's probably a Newcastle. Yeah.
It tastes like Newcastle.
So, in the
Hey, not yet, man.
in the event
sorry.
of Viva, since this was kicking off at Viva, I decided to throw you guys a curveball, and I said, "What defines old Viva more than this?"
Newcastle.
Newcastle?
In a can.
Motherfucking Newcastle.
Hell yeah!
Ah, you.
I thought I was gonna trip you guys up.
See, that's what I was expecting, but I was like,
Yeah,
wait
that's
a
pretty
minute.
crazy. You know? Yeah, it was kind of like blind taste.
Nah, I
test.
called it. I fucking called
Yeah?
it. I know my Newcastle.
It is different though through physics because
does,
it is
yeah.
a
Yeah,
lot
It is.
silkier,
Well, I said
right?
it was a
It's
Newcastle
like-
family.
Yeah.
It is.
Because
It
it tastes
tastes
more
good.
like a craft beer. Like when you put something through
does.
this fucking
Wow,
thing,
that's
dude,
freaking weird.
It changes
Yeah.
it, dude.
See,
It
this
makes
is the
it-
first time.
It tastes creamier.
Yeah,
Creamier,
this is the
yeah.
first time I have to agree to that because up until now we've had just beers we've never had before.
And
Yeah.
you're like, this
But
is
this
bullshit.
is the first time we've had a beer that we've all had before. We've all drank it plenty of times, and yeah, it does give it a different
It does
taste.
give it a different taste.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It tastes like Newcastle, but you're kind of like, is it Newcastle? But you're kind of scared to say that it is because it might be something different. It might be like a nutty brown ale that some fucking craft brewery did.
Like BJ's or something.
But that's what this fucking thing does. That's why I paid so much money for this fucking thing. 'Cause I love it.
Wow,
it's
awesome.
good. This is good.
It's my birthday present to myself because it fucking makes beer taste the way it's supposed to fucking taste.
Yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you saw that we had a great tasting test of
What the fuck is that?
Newcastle Brown Ale.
Somebody's phone. Okay.
So it's about that time to wrap it up. And
get the fuck outta here.
I just want to say, George, do you have any last words?
Let's see. I quoted a book that we were talking about, and the last quote I have. Everybody check out Stephen Pressfield's The War of Art. The War of Art, not the Art of War. The War of Art. Because it's all about acknowledging resistance and knowing that you're always in control of your own faith. Always do what you love, man. Always do. Because the more that it scares you, that's the more you should do it.
Amen.
Yes. And
Sal?
for me, just like always, follow us on Instagram. We're on the Twitters. We're on the Facebooks. For all of you guys that listen out there to us, thanks for your patience. Like I said, we all try to work around our work schedules, try to put this out for you guys, for those of you who listen and actually care. But, we try to get this out for you guys. Thanks for your patience, and we'll hope to get more episodes out sooner. And as far as our guest, Rich, you want to plug your stuff again?
Oh, yeah, Salazar and Sons on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, just Richard Salazar. And or Salazar and Sons at Salazar and Sons .bigcartel.com is my
Bigdick.com.
BigDickDudley.com.
Make sure to erase your browser after that.
Yeah,
BigCartel.com.
Definitely check Rich's stuff out. It's worth it. I mean, you guys, you're getting your money's worth no matter.
I gotta say, it's definitely good quality shit, man.
Thanks, guys.
And for me, all I gotta say is everybody stay money, and we shall see you next time.
See you guys later.
Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.